I'm sorry. Is there any others who would like to ask questions of any of the three panelists? Please do so. And we need to wrap it up. So all of you have a quick last chance at the cherry.
Can I ask a question? This is
Please,
Gopal.
Yeah.
Firstly,
Gopal is all in the High Court in Delhi.
I am grateful. I am not a big fan of modern technology, but if modern technology was not there, I don't think I would have got a opportunity today to hear all that which I heard from the so-called horse's mouth. And also at the same time, I am also grateful that I have come to know of this important work which has been put across to me today from the horse's mouth. A very great enterprise is indeed it is. And I understand when I got to know how many footnotes have been put and what it took to put these footnotes is just a matter of, not just a matter of imagination. I have practical experience that when one puts a proper footnote, what is the importance and value of this and how much work it may amount to. It is, I think, I personally feel I will try to read the book in bits and pieces only to begin with. It's a very lengthy book, I am told. And I think it is a treasure trove of tools which can be employed by those who are in this field to get something out of the system of law which we have enforced. I am sorry, I have not got the surname of the main speaker, so I will use a normal standard English expression, sir. I came in the field of law by accident. It was my choice. I was a mathematician, and perhaps if I had continued like that, I would have had a very comfortable and satisfying life till the last day of my life. I came here in this field out of my choice. My closest relatives and good wishers said, "My God, you don't know what is all law and practice all about." Huh? Then I said, "I want to see and know myself." They said, "Then be an academician. Don't go into practice of criminal law. You don't know what all happens there." I was adamant until date. I am adamant. And therefore, what happened is that I began the practice of law after I graduated in law at the trial court level because I thought I want to know how is the system functioning today. And then I wanted to see what is it which I can do. I personally feel that the history of modern civilization is directly linked to how the issue of human rights have become important. At the same time, I also feel that in the last 80 years, 100 years, we have seen so much of development in each and every field, science, technology, health, everything. But at the same time, my personal opinion is that this issue is human rights being so very integral part of modern life. This issue is developing much more slowly and unsatisfactorily in comparison to various other aspects of life, which is directly affected to political rights, economic, social, and cultural rights. My personal opinion is also that there is a direct correlation between human rights and human life, and this is an integral right. And I first just would point out that I think in India in 1984 December, the Bhopal gas tragedy, which saw suffering of large number of people in India, and it's how it developed and concluded. It gives me a very unsatisfactory feeling. I am an Indian. I would like to be proud of my country and my laws based on how the law are applied and what relief victims are able to get out of the system. My distinguished senior lawyers are practicing in High Court and Supreme Court, and I think they know what is the situation like. They are trying their best. I'm also sure that the judges who are sitting in the High Court and Supreme Court, many of them, they are very much interested that something ought to be done, and at times they are also giving relief knowing that the establishment of the time is not happy when such a decision is given. However, I would like to point out that when sometimes some senior lawyer or person who is in the field says, Gopal, please take up this case. I take up at the trial court level, and this I would like to continue. But I would just like to point out at that level, when I take up a case, it was, I can give an example, in 86, after I joined the profession, two Dalits their human rights were thoroughly violated by the police in Delhi. And both were Dalits, they had no political affiliation, and they also had no support, but I took up their case, and because after I talked to them, both of them, they said, we will do whatever you tell us. Please get something out for us in this, what has happened. I first went to the High Court and requested, let this matter be investigated by the police and let it be prosecuted by the state, because they are fighting against the police force and they are Dalits, they have nothing in their pocket. The High Court, for whatever reason, it was of the opinion that since we have a waterproof case and evidence, therefore we should present it in the trial court and take up the matter as a private complaint case, in which what happens under the law is that the burden of proof shifts to the victim. He has to prove, and everything has to be done by him, not by the state apparatus. I just would like to point out that I had these two witnesses who said, we will not go back and we will not accept any compromise, even if the officers are willing to say, you take this and stop the case. For 8 years, they came to every hearing which was there, but what could not happen was that not the evidence of one single witness was recorded in the entire proceeding. It is frustrating for me, but I am a professional. What I say, what about these two persons who were Dalits and who had nothing? What would it have amounted to them to wait and come every year, day after day of court hearing, and get nothing out of 8 years? Their evidence had not come on record. I say that by being an Indian, I am proud of Indian Constitution, and I feel that even the Supreme Court, in theory, there is a very balanced opinion that when it comes to serious violation of rights, apart from the punishment, compensation for the crime committed by officials of the government should be an integral part of justice, and I accept these judgments and I respect these judgments and also the judges who have said so. But I would like to know, because I am going to be in this field of law, and criminal law somehow happens to be integrally linked with human rights issues. Therefore, I would like to ask, sir, this rule of law is the necessary condition for the protection of human rights, as well as when it comes to getting remedy against violation of human rights. Therefore, I would like to ask, what is the effect of delayed justice, even in democratic setups where laws are perfect, they give a lot of scope to prosecute and get justice. The higher court judges are willing to accept it in principle that law should be like this, compensation should be an integral part. But what is the effect of delayed justice in democratic rule? This I would like to ask, sir. Thank you.
The name is John.
John Pache.
Surname, sir, I did not could not
Pache,
Pache.
Pache, yeah. But the answer is very simple, as you probably remember. As the saying goes, justice delayed is justice denied. It is one of the essential elements of justice is, ironically, speed. and adequate compensation and retribution, depending on the nature of the case. So I'm not familiar, but I'm not surprised that the criminal justice system is, for various reasons, very slow, and very often, unfortunately, that leads to denial of justice, even if you manage to get private criminal prosecution underway already. I think if I may take one opportunity, Dr. Gopal raised a very important point, and I must say I cannot disagree with his the trouble is that the way I understood it, Dr. Gopal is hoping or wishing or presuming that the cultural level among governments, the culture of justice, if you like, has reached such a stage that you can actually have a kind of trigger mechanism, as you described. My years in international forum shows me that the components of international human rights law are governments who represent states. The problem is that it's governments that take decisions, but they bind states, and the state is the overall concept, the sovereign body that is the state. I don't believe that the governments are sovereign as such. The state that is sovereign, but the government is the ruling group of people democratically elected, hopefully, to run the state. And with regard to Anand Grover's question about the availability of the book for students, I will check with OUP, of course, but I do know that OUP has put the book on their so-called collection of Oxford Specialized Authorities on International Law, OSAIL, and that is offered either free or for some money to libraries, university libraries mainly, and there students can access it for free. If the university has the OSAIL subscription, then the book is there, and they can access the electronic version, which, frankly speaking, in many ways has a lot of advantage. I use my electronic version for most things because it's an easy way of going through such a volume of information in a logical way. But anyway, I very dearly wish to have the chance one day to discuss in more detail the brilliant points made by Dr. Gopal on this. And I am moved by Dr. Gopal Ram's.
Sir, I'm not doctor.
Okay, well, you're an ordinary minister. Well, I still may talk to you though.
Sir, I'm
Yeah.
pleased that I have this opportunity. Yes, please.
Yes, yeah, that's quite all right. No, I'm just saying how I mean, real and impressive and provocative to me anyway are these reflections. And I don't know where we are with time, but I just wanted to get in a couple of expressions of sincerity and the brilliant, absolutely brilliant interventions I've heard today. And I hope that we will have the chance to carry. We cannot just do away with Dr. Mohan's remarks because they are very topical and very immediate, and of course Ravi's response. So I just wish we had time. Ravi, it's in your hands.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Can I just
John.
a moment? I thank both of Sir, you and also Dr. Mohan Gopal. And he has already given a wonderful suggestion which can be caught by anybody, and it comes into focus. That your book, that it will be published in India by a publisher, and it definitely the cost of the book will come down, and the access of the book will also be to a larger number of people.
With
Thank
pleasure.
you very much.
Yeah,
With,
yeah,
with great pleasure, really.
Yeah.
That's the idea of the book.
yeah. Just on a point of information, Oxford University Press has closed its legal publications division in India. So if we'll have to explore something with the permission of Oxford in UK, or bring it under the academic series of OUP India. So that is something that OUP UK will have to consider.
Okay, well, maybe you and I can
Yeah.
follow that up because they're really necessary, I must say. Yeah.
Sorry, I went to the site of the Oxford University Press, and the access is available only to those who can log in and register students, perhaps. And this is a reference book. Therefore, probably Dr. Mohan Gopal would think whether how fast this book can be brought up as an edition in India, and the cost of the book will definitely come down because of
that makes so much sense.
Yeah, that's right. So thank you very much. If there are no other points of clarification, questions, information, anybody else